I just want to share some things with you. I actually typed it out. So it's almost like an article the way I put it out. And what I want to share with you, actually, I shared with the youth at camp. So you kids have kind of heard this before, and yet you haven't, because there's some more things that I want to add to this. And I want everybody to listen really carefully, because I think what I want to share with you today is vitally important to where God is going with the church in these days. Because you realize we are in a time when God is, I believe, about to bring a massive reformation of the church to the world. Things are going on. We always say, we talk about China, we talk about South America, we talk about Africa. So many amazing things are going on. The dead are being raised, blind eyes are being opened. It's finally happening in the U.S. Yes. We're finally getting on to it. I told you a couple of weeks back about a guy that was raised from the dead in Atlanta. It's cool. God is moving by His Spirit, and His kingdom is breaking into ours. And it's His intention to have His kingdom break into ours. And I'll tell you what that's going to do. That's going to mess us up. It really is, because we know how to do stuff. We know how to do Christianity. We've got Christianity down. We know how to do this. We're used to doing it. We've got our model, and there's a lot of different models. This church over here has a model, and that church over there has a model. If you don't like this model, you can go over to that model. Some of you change churches as often as you trade in cars. Well, you didn't like the old model anymore. It's just not shiny and bright anymore, and the seats are getting worn. You've been sitting in the same spot forever anyway. That's why your seat got so worn. So we got this change coming that I think is going to do the way that we change the way that we do church. In fact, I think we're going to stop doing church and start being church, which is going to be a vast improvement. It's going to be really exciting. And it's just an amazing time to be alive as God is breaking into our world, and we're reaching it. We're seeing His kingdom come and His will done on earth as it is in heaven. And that's part of the reason why I'm so excited about being with you every time I get a chance. We get together with different people sometimes during the week. We wish we could get together with more of you. If you'll invite us, we will get together with you. We don't want to invade your space too much, but we are space invaders. So we just want to get with you. We want to be with you. We want to enjoy life with you. We want to do life with you, not just do church with you on Sunday mornings. And, I've been talking about this stuff. I've been talking about relationship, and all these things are it's just like this big carpet, with all these little pieces weaved together. It's just really cool how it's starting to take shape, how the picture is starting to come clearer. And I believe it's going to continue to do that as God weaves this fabric of our lives into His kingdom. So you'll remember about 4 weeks ago I did this message, and in the message, I called it, by the way, "What's Wrong with Me?" We can get you a version of it on CD or DVD, or we can put it on the cassette if you still got a cassette player. We can get it on a videotape. You can go to the internet. You can download it for free, whatever. It's a good word, and it was a good word. And in that word, I was kind of lamenting what's wrong with me. You'll remember, because I talked about how I've missed church like probably less than 10 times in my entire life, because my parents thought I should be there, mainly because they thought they should be there. And I went through this whole thing about, trying to motivate people. Church is an amazing experience. When we come together as God's people, it's really, really valuable. It's really important. And I laid out some good things in that. I got to thinking about that. I'm over 50 years old now. That's over 2,600 Sunday morning meetings. If you go with Sunday evenings and midweek services and special meetings, I've probably heard over 10,000 messages in my life. Thousands and thousands and thousands of speakers and things. Not all of them all that good, by the way. I had to listen to me. That's really tough sometimes. Ugh. I'm sure all of that teaching has affected me. But I don't think it was really the teaching that motivated me to want to be with God's people, the way I love to be with God's people. I was thinking about that this week, knowing that I wanted to go this direction. I even said last Sunday morning I was going to talk to you about this. You may have missed it because I just said it so quickly. But as I was meditating on it this week, it finally kind of hit me. Because I was saying, I don't get it. I don't get why people aren't as excited about being with other people of God as I am. I don't get it. I kept saying that over and over. I don't get it. And finally this week, I got it. I came in one morning and I told Eddie, I got it. I got it. I finally got it. I know what it is about me that makes me that way. It finally hit me. And I kind of wrote it down here because I want to say this in the right way if I can. I finally understand why I'm probably different than the average Christian. And the difference is the understanding that I have come to on the call that is on my life. Because from the time that I became born again, I knew that I was going to be in full-time ministry. And I suppose that makes a difference. I knew that I was different because God called me to full-time ministry. And God has put something on me that's not like the average person. And deep in my heart, I know that I can't even behave the way the average person does. I know that God expects more of me. And I know that people expect more of me. How many of you, don't raise your hands, but just think about it. How many of you expect more of full-time ministers? A lot of you probably are thinking, yeah, I do. So I get it. I get it. With this realization, I think I finally get it, and I can no longer say that I don't get it, but there is still a problem. See, the problem has gone from I don't get it to some of you don't get it. That's where the problem really has gone to. I'm not trying to be mean here, but there are some people who just don't get it. And I'm hoping that now that I get it, I can help you get it. I hope that it's like a disease. And I hope that what I didn't get, now that I get it, I can help you get it. Get it? Oh, that's perfect. That's beautiful. So look with me to Revelation chapter 2. We're just going to look at 2 verses. We're going to hit one verse and jump over, and then hit another verse. And then I'm going to probably not make you turn anymore today. But if you've got a piece of paper, you will hear me quote verses, and you can write them down and go check them out. Make sure that I'm not a liar, or that I'm not somehow misunderstanding something. Revelation chapter 2, let's look at the first verse is verse 6. Let's look at that one together. But this you have, you hate the deeds of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. Jump over to verse 15. Thus you have those who hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. God is a God of love, and God's not really into hating too much, but there are some things that God hates. And he hates the thing that the Nicolaitans were into. The Nicolaitans. There was a group of people who had come kind of like, let's just say you were all enamored with me to the point where you wanted to start calling yourself Hackerites. Don't go there. But Timites, it would be maybe Timites, Timothyites. Nicholas, there was some guy named Nicholas, and they've been trying to figure out who he was for years, but no one knows for sure. But the Nicolaitans were people who followed this Nikolai guy. Kind of is the easy way to say it. And they had this doctrine, and I was looking up some stuff on it. You can actually look it up on the internet. It's not hard to find. And here was what they taught. They taught that there was a separation between clergy and laity. That's what the Nicolaitans taught. And through their teaching that there was a separation of clergy and laity, they taught that there were some special people, and then there was the regular people. And the special people had a special call, and the regular people had a regular call. And the special people, by the way, with the special call could be special, while the rest of you were just not all that special. Isn't that special? And so the idea was that there were people who had, special powers and special abilities and special callings and special giftings, and then there were the people who weren't all that special, and the people who weren't all that special were supposed to support the ministry of the special people.